It's about providing opportunities and experiences for young people.
Even before the Kraken hit the ice, the team is reaching out to a new and diverse crowd.
You're watching it, you can't look away because you might miss something.
The Seawolves' success has inspired a new sports culture built around rugby.
It's 4,500 square feet of ice.
And with pro hockey just months away, how do arena floors transform into a sheet of ice? These stories and more next on CityStream. Hi everybody, I'm Tony Ventrella. Welcome to CityStream from Climate Pledge Arena. Built for the 1962 World's Fair, it was first known as the Washington State Coliseum. In 1995, KeyBank bought the naming rights and Key Arena was born. Now it's Climate Pledge Arena. Construction is moving at a brisk pace. Come October, our NHL team, the Seattle Kraken, will take the ice. And as excitement builds for the season, the team is already reaching out to a diverse group of fans and players at its practice facility at Northgate. Brian Callanan explains.
Hockey stick, check. Skates, pads, check, check. But wait, where's the ice? You're looking at Jurassic Puck, a Snow King Adult League hockey team. They're taking their shots at the Judkins Park Street Hockey Court because ice time in Seattle
slippery spot.
doesn't just fall in your lap.
All good? We only have so many rinks around the city that you can book at any given moment. Okay, Cotton, and okay.
That's goalie Braden Sensed. And notice he said around the city. Seattle, home to the first American team to win the NHL's Stanley Cup in 1917, does not have a full-time public ice rink in city limits.
I'd say the more ice we can get closer to the city, the better.
Oh, that ice is getting closer, all right. The Seattle Kraken are set to make a splash in the fall of 2021 with their inaugural NHL season at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle Center. But less than 7 miles away, up at Northgate Mall, the team is hoping to make an even bigger impact.
The goal, first and foremost, is that we have a hockey community that ultimately reflects our Seattle community.
Kyle Boyd is director of the Kraken's Youth and Development Program, who says when the Northgate Ice Center opens, it'll have 3 indoor rinks. Fans can watch the Kraken practice on the main rink. On the 2 others, the team wants the public, especially kids, to be playing hockey, figure skating, and having fun on the ice.
It's not just about winning Stanley Cups at the professional level, but it's about providing opportunities and experiences for young people in a city where they might not have as much access or resources to enjoy ice sports.
That's why the Kraken are teaming up with groups like the Black Girl Hockey Club.
The sign-on statement for Black Girl Hockey Club has always been about making sure that hockey is welcoming to everyone.
Tanisha Singleton is interim president of the board of directors for the nonprofit club.
Go Kraken!
Which has launched a clothing line with the Kraken as part of the effort to change the image of the game from a traditionally all-white sport to one that embraces diversity.
There's a lot of communities that don't feel recognized.
King County's 2019 State of Play report shows ice hockey and skating are 2 of the top sports local kids of color want to try.
I pledge to create meaningful change in order to make hockey a place for everyone.
This means all of us.
The Kraken has taken the Black Girl Hockey Club's Get Uncomfortable pledge to fight racism, and the team is funding a BGHC scholarship, planting some seeds by removing hockey's financial barriers to get kids of color on the ice.
And those little seeds can then start to grow into sustainable change for our youth, future generations, on and on and on.
We know that this is an incredibly diverse city, an incredibly diverse region, and we want to see that ultimately reflected in the game of hockey.
Getting more kids of color involved in the sport of hockey is going to take a big assist from our local youth leagues. And when you talk about youth hockey in our area, the puck stops here.
Our mission is building players for life. Diversity is a big part of that for us.
Clayton Rogers is executive director of Snow King Hockey, a nonprofit with 1,300 participants.
2-on-2 in this side with 2 waiting here.
About half are just learning to play.
Oh, what a save!
And the other half, they just might play for the Kraken one day. But all these players and coaches are excited that Snow King's efforts to help low-income families and kids of color to play hockey are getting an assist from our new NHL team.
It's been really great to partner with them to grow that in our sport.
Rogers, who himself grew up in a multiracial family and played on a multiracial team at Harvard, says Snow King is aiming to teach young players a lot more than just a game.
It's introducing kids to lots of different ethnic origins, lots of different opinions, ways to work out conflict, really good life lessons that we can give kids through hockey.
And the lessons, the Kraken say, don't stop there.
We need to figure out how we can lean in and make a difference.
Mari Horita is Vice President of Community Engagement and Social Impact for the Kraken, an organization whose staff is believed to be the most diverse in the NHL.
This is important. This is important for our future as a business. This is important for the health of our country.
The team is also pledging $10 million for the next decade to youth care to combat youth homelessness, and is promising to build the first net zero emissions arena in the world. The hope is, when people gather here at Northgate to skate, watch practice, or see Kraken games on TV, or even if you're at home wondering what this team or this sport is all about, that everyone has something to cheer for.
That it isn't a segment of our community, but it's people of all ages and all backgrounds and all religions, and everybody feels like, yeah, I am part of this journey, and that, to me, is a success.
It's a hope for a bright future, and a hope that the assumptions we may have frozen in place about what NHL hockey in Seattle can truly achieve might soon be melting away.
I think they're doing a lot of great work just in terms of inclusivity and getting more people involved in hockey.
The Kraken being here, it promotes welcoming everybody from the community.
They are already the leaders and really amplifying that type of digitized civil rights movement.
We are thrilled with the fan base that we have, but we also know that there are opportunities to connect folks who didn't initially see themselves as hockey fans or future hockey players as a part of our community.
The puck will drop on the Kraken's inaugural season in October. For more information, go to NHL.com and click on the Teams link. Now, here's an interesting note. We have just passed the 104th anniversary of the first ever Stanley Cup. You know who won that first title? The Seattle Metropolitans in 1917. I'll send you your prize. That championship team included a group of outcasts from other teams that rose to the occasion. They were led by a colorful coach, Paul Muldoon, but within a week, many players traded hockey uniforms for military gear as they were drafted into World War I. 2 years later, in 1919, Seattle was back in the Stanley Cup Finals.
The Spanish flu pandemic that's ravaging the world finally hit Seattle and kills one of the Canadiens players, hospitalizes 4 of the other players.
It remains the only Stanley Cup played with no declared winner. These stories and many more are detailed in the book, When It Mattered Most, by Kevin Tyson. From hockey to rugby, the Seattle Seawolves are in the hunt for a hat trick. That's next on CityStream. The Seattle Seawolves Professional Rugby Club is back on the pitch, seeking its 3rd straight national title. Now, of course, the pandemic canceled the 2020 season, but the new season is underway, and the Seawolves are in the hunt. And let's face it, the fan base is fired up from their recent success, and the Seawolves have kind of created the new sports culture in Seattle, as producer Ian DeVere explains.
I think there's such a natural rugby community here, and there's a big population of rugby players that find themselves in Seattle somehow.
One of the reasons why Seawolves are so successful is because the culture was here already.
It's just been not really noticed until professional rugby came here.
It's a crazy, fast-flowing sport, 80 minutes of non-stop action.
It's a flowing game. You play both attack and defence.
The ball can be turned over at any point in the game.
When you're watching it, you can't look away because you might miss something. Which makes it exciting because you feel like you're a part of it.
We rarely use protective equipment compared to football. We'll wear a mouth guard and maybe strap your ankles and then off you go. There's big hits, there's loud fans, and it's, like I said, non-stop.
When I heard about the league starting over here, I just couldn't, say no to this opportunity. It comes to States where I feel rugby is going to explode.
I never thought in a million years that we'd actually have a team in Seattle and a professional team on top of that.
Growing up in Australia, everyone wants to be a cricketer or a rugby player or something like that, so coming here and seeing rugby develop as quite a new sport, but quite an exciting sport. It's been quite good. Seattle's got such a good connection to the community.
So before every Seawolves home game at Starfire Stadium, we get a bunch of kids together, we get the players out, and they get to get involved with the kids. We play a bunch of rugby style games.
No, well done, good skills.
Teach them a little bit of how to hold the ball, run with the ball, work with their teammates, which is huge in rugby, is just to work as a team and not as individuals.
Don't get tagged, don't get tagged. Okay,
Just to get hold of a rugby ball, run around, meet a few of the players themselves. There's not many professional teams out there that the kids get to actually interact with the players pre-game.
In Seattle, Pacific Northwest in general, we want kids to grow up and want mum and dad to get them a rugby ball for Christmas, to get them a new pair of rugby boots so they can come out to training.
1, 2, 3, rugby!
They're the best fans. They want your autograph. They think you're a superhero, especially when you remember their name, remember who they are, and you're 10 times even bigger and just much more impactful. So I love having the kids here.
Hey, call for the ball.
After your career, you eventually want the game to get passed on, to the next generation. That's a big thing for me and something that I'm really proud about, because as a kid that grew up in Seattle playing rugby here, to see more kids actually start playing the game, it just shows continual growth of the sport. The one thing about rugby is that anybody can play it. It's a very inclusive sport. There's a position for everybody, whether you're short, small, big, skinny, tall. Everyone has a place in rugby, to actually make a difference or have an impact in the games.
I know for a fact that women's rugby in America and even Australia is one of the fastest growing sports now that it's an Olympic sport, and to see young girls wanting to play rugby and young kids to see that as a dream or a passion, that's awesome. And that's our goal, especially now in America, is to grow that and want kids to be future MLR stars or Olympians or whatever it be.
3, 2, 1, Quake!
We have the Quake, which is our gay community, They're very involved in our rugby community here in Seattle. It's very inclusive, There's no bias in the sport, which I really love.
You'll see 4,500 people sitting in these stands every week.
You can feel the passion on the field. You can feel it when you're playing. You can feel the passion from the crowd. The best way to learn and to get caught is to actually come to a game. That's half the beauty of the sport in America, is you've got people that know rugby sitting next to people that have no idea what's going on in the field, but they're still coming to the games to watch because of the atmosphere. I think the best thing we can do is introduce more and more people to the game. Hopefully they bring their kids if they've got kids as well, and every game, if they can leave knowing a little bit more, we're going in the right direction.
I know that in 10 years, this is going to be really big. It's nice to be a part of a pioneer of something.
I think every kid has a desire to play professionally for their city. I look up at the fans And I see everyone from when I played with, when I was in little league, all the way to men's, that I'm currently playing with. And it's just an awesome place to be a part of.
For more information on the schedule and other team news, go to their website, seattle.gov. Up next, with the Kraken preparing to play, have you ever wondered how they ice up an arena? We'll show you just ahead. CityStream returns from outside Climate Pledge Arena. In the months to come, work crews will get to work on what is called the Big Freeze as they create the ice surface inside that arena. What's involved in making ice indoors? Well, to find out, producer Randy Ang spoke to the folks in charge of the Winterfest rink here at Seattle Center.
Winterfest Ice Rink has been around for decades, and it's one of our signature sort of parts of Winterfest. It's 4,500 square feet of ice. Over 8,400 gallons of water go into making it every year. It takes about 2.5 weeks to construct from beginning to end. And then 1 full week of that is the slow, arduous process of just making the ice. There is a sort of a rubber layer first, which, is sort of like a container for water, like a pond, you can imagine. And then over top of that are coils of tubing, of which this product called glycerol goes through, which is the freezing agent. You have to sort of do it 100% right, because if there is a mistake, which you discover after you've made the ice, to go back and fix that is ridiculously hard. It does take about, I would say, 5 days. 5 days of throwing water on that thing. It's spraying a layer of water, letting it freeze, spraying another layer of water and letting it freeze. If it's only partially freezes before you keep adding water, then you get sort of a soft, yucky sort of quality of ice. We really want something that's nice and hard and durable. The Fisher Pavilion here, which hosts the ice rink, has these roll-up doors which go out on the outside, and there's often days in which it is cold outside where we purposefully roll the doors up to sort of let some of that cold air in and keep it sort of at a good temperature inside here. A lot of work and effort goes into it. I mean, especially here in Seattle, in which our temperatures don't normally drop that cold. So in another part of the country in which you could have an outdoor ice rink where nature is doing a lot of the work for you, it's cold out there. Here in Seattle, we don't necessarily have that condition, so we really have to artificially pump in that cold to maintain the ice over time.
The big difference between the rink at Winterfest and the one inside Climate Pledge is that the one in this arena will have a huge concrete slab filled with freezing elements. And here's some interesting news. Rain from the roof will be used to create layers of ice for professional hockey. We'll be right back. That wraps up this edition of CityStream. If you'd like more information on Seattle Channel programs, go to our website, seattle.gov, and click on Feature Shows. I'm Tony Ventrella. Thanks for joining us.